On the show today, we have Trellance's very own Daragh Fitzpatrick. He's here talking about what does it mean for a credit union to be data-driven. Check it out. Hey everybody, Mike Lawson here with CUBroadcast. Welcome back to our show. And on today's program, we have Trellance's very own Daragh Fitzpatrick. Daragh, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
Very well. Good to see you too.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here today because we're talking about what does it mean for a credit union to be data-driven. We talk about data in every second breath, it seems like. But what does it mean to be data driven? And that's going to be my first question too, Daragh. So what does it mean for a credit union to be data? Because this drives everything, I think, right now, especially as we're talking about AI. We can't say two words without talking about AI as well. And data is kind of the foundation of it all.
Absolutely. I think that's a great question, great place to start. Thank you. I think that in order for a credit union to be data-driven, they really need to think not about the data per se. I mean, it's definitely the fuel in the engine, but you need to know where you're going. And you need to know where the data or the analytics or the AI can help you get there.
Right.
So when I hear that a credit union says, I want to be data-driven, I think of that, it's like a solution looking for a problem, because it's definitely a solution. Yeah. But as with any other business decisions, you really need to think about the business value first and then appropriately apply analytics, predictive analytics, for example, or the artificial intelligence as a tool to get you there.
What does a data-driven business solution look like?
The solution itself will have a component of the underlying data. Mm-hmm. But then on top of that, you've got to remember, like I said before, you really got to think about what your business goal is. You've got to think about how you're going to not only measure success, but how the data may drive that success. It may help you make better decisions. It may give you insights into the business, or it may be driving something like a marketing campaign, for example. And so that solution is really those components. And I would also say, very, very, very important to keep an eye again on that business value ball and ask, what's required to get to that? A lot of people start off with the data first and say, I need all of the data, and then I'm going to work out how I'm going to solve things. I would say go the other direction. I'd say look at the solution that you're trying to solve for, and then work back into the data, because it can be very hard to get to, and it can be quite tricky to work with. You're going to be dealing with bad data, data that is unreliable, data that does not agree, and you may not have those pieces in place to really to solve for all of that. So focus much, and I think you would be surprised at how little data you actually need. So again, start from the right-hand side, go to the left, and think about what data I need, how I'm going to analyze it, and then how am I going to use it to actually execute on solving for that specific problem.
Smart indeed. So how does this play out for marketing solutions?
So with a marketing solution, there are some main questions that you want to answer. So first of all, what is the goal of my campaign? Like, what am I trying to get done? Am I trying to drive usage within a specific product? Mm-hmm. Am I trying to boost the brand of my credit union? Am I trying to encourage usage of a credit card by increasing their credit line? And so, first of all, we sort of look at what we're trying to do, again, that business problem. And then we pull in the data, and we pull in I mentioned analytics before. There are some partners that you may use as part of this as well. So for example, in order to get the message out to members, you need to go beyond a data solution into marketing. So you need a marketing automation platform that will take the members' demographic information. It'll take their name and their email address, their physical address, if appropriate, and actually send them that marketing message.
Right on.
Yeah, and part of that, you'll want to ask the question: which members do I actually want to send this to? I can't send it to everybody in the world, and if you're looking at non-members, you don't want to send it to everybody in the country. It gets expensive. So you'll want to use analytics to really bring that in. And so oftentimes we talk about segmentation. Mm-hmm. So we talk about sort of targeting those members with that message. We use predictive analytics to help us understand which members will be most receptive to what message. So, for example, I know that student loans are going to play better with parents and young adults. I know that minivans are going to play better with middle-aged, people that are thinking of having kids. So in that way, you can really hone in your message to go to the right people. And so we use models with fancy names like next best product. Or next best action is another way of taking this too, because maybe you're boosting your brand and you're looking for those members that could use some financial advice, some financial counseling. And so you'll look at them not to sell them something, really to help them out.
And these are called next best. I'm writing this down. Next best actions.
Next best actions. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a new
like next best product, but it's less salesy.
Okay. Even better. So let's talk about Trellance. So what additional value do you guys at Trellance bring to the table in this area?
So we've done this quite a few before. We have our primary product, as you may know, is the data warehouse and predictive analytics that we put on top of that. Do a really nice job of executive reporting, dashboarding, bringing together data into a single source of truth. Now, in order to turn that into something for like marketing solutions, we partner with companies like HubSpot, for example, to give you that marketing automation platform. But really, we have that fuel, right? We have that data that we can then plug into that system to then execute that campaign. And the execution being the sending the mail to the right people or sending the letters to the right people. So we have the data, we have the predictive models like the next best action, next best product. And then we use those third parties to actually get it out there. So you could set all of that up yourself, but the thing that we really bring to the table that is a differentiator is we've built a lot of these things already. We've built them for other credit unions, and because we're big believers in the movement, and we know there's co-opetition, it means that we can take assets that we've developed for one credit union and then give those to other credit unions to use for free. So if we have a charity campaign with Locks of Love, and we have this lovely logo from Locks of Love, and we've got this really nice graphics that talk about, why a member should use their credit card more, because that money goes to Locks of Love as a charity. Yeah. We've taken the time to set up the contract with Locks of Love to use their logo. We set the time to create graphics that have all of that stuff in there. And we're basically then just taking that and cookie cuttering or doing a copy and paste into all of the credit unions that we use this for. So the credit unions don't have to pay again for something that we've done for another credit union. So we call that scalability. So we provide a sort of these it's economies of scale to make it cost effective for credit unions. And we do that through this way. We do it through, when we for credit reviews or credit screening, TransUnion gives us a better price per call because we have a larger volume. We consolidate the volume across all of our credit unions, and so we get a lower price per query. Okay. So we're able to sort of consolidate demand there as well. That again brings the price down. So we're all about reusability and scaling and making that available. Small credit unions that could never reach those numbers themselves.
Yeah. Why reinvent the wheel every time? So I hear what you're saying. Right. I'm clear. All right. Last question for you here. Where should a credit union start on this journey? Maybe I should ask this in the very beginning, but where should a credit union start?
I think knowing the next steps is definitely very important. I would say, in terms of becoming data driven, we did sort of cover that. Understand what the problem is first, right, and get into it. Right. Sometimes it's not a fancy data warehouse. Sometimes it's a well thought out Excel spreadsheet that helps you solve for some process issue that you have. So don't think too big, but start small. Think strategically, of course. Think big, but start small, and then incrementally building up things. Yep. You want to get into more advanced analytics like segmentation or predictive analytics. I would say that if you're not doing that already, I would start with a vendor to help you learn how it works, help you understand how it scales. And then at some point, you'll become large enough, mature enough to want to do that yourself. So you can start running your own campaign and start You can hire your own data scientists and do it yourself. But I'd start with a vendor at that point. And then I would say, in terms of sort of executing and getting it done, try and run through a few examples, do proof of concepts, see how it goes within your organization. Or, of course, Trellance is here to help you think about and execute on some of these things ourselves.
Right on. Well said, sir. Well said. Yeah, there's all personalization. As I keep thinking about that as you're talking, segmentation, personalization, almost synonymous. And then obviously the predictive analytics stuff, which I still find very science fiction, very fascinating, but it's so vital, especially in today's world of service, which is where credit unions really excel. So yeah, all this stuff is have to haves nowadays, not a nice to have anymore. So yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Anything else to add here, Daragh, before I let you get back to work here? Any final thoughts?
I'd say the Trellance team is here to help. Don't be afraid to reach out.
Right on. Well, we'll put all the links in the show notes so folks can get right to you guys and have any questions or give you a call and say, hey, we need some help in this area. We need help getting started. So yeah, good stuff. All right, Daragh, thank you so much for your expertise and your insights, and look forward to the next chat down the line. Well done.
Thank you very much.